All right, guys, now we are moving on to administrative. So the administrative tab is what you're going to want to come to next after you have done your settings. It has a few different features in here to help you run your business. The first one here is contract templates. So you're going to go ahead and hit edit contract templates. And it's going to bring up this standard contract example is what you will have. And it will show you this pre-populated contract that we already have on here. Where you're going to add this form to your client's order is by just clicking on orders and going to their portfolio. You can add whatever contract you want to their order. This is our pre-populated form. If you want to use it, I would hit duplicate. It'll bring up a duplicated form. We're going to call this wedding contract 2. If I'm not doing cookies for this type of order, I can delete any of my pre-populated questions that are on here. And I can also add extra one that I want down here and hit the add button. Here you'll see a single agree to all checkbox. In their client portal, it's going to list all these pre-populated or your custom questions or just statements, and they will have to click each box for each line. If you want them to acknowledge each and every policy, you can leave it just like it is. But if you want them to just click and agree to all checkbox, so they're not having to go through and click, 14, 25, however many different ones you have, just go ahead and toggle this on and then hit save all changes. When they are in their client portal, they're going to see this, they'll be able to read it, sign it, and then they'll be able to make a payment. You can create as many contracts as you would like for different orders, and you can attach more than one to a client. I'm just going to show you orders. We'll view all orders. So when you click on a client order, it brings you into the back end of your client portfolio. You're going to click on portal, and this is where it gives you the options to do different things inside the portal, turning on different options for your client. One of those is the contract and agreement. If you toggle that on, then you can go here and choose any of the contracts that you would like to attach to this order. So I just chose one, but maybe I have an extra one for cookies. I can choose that one too. When they go to their side of the client portal, they're going to see all these agreements in their contracts. Coming back over to administrative, all we need to get Whisk Manager functioning and sending clients on our invoices is the contract templates. Everything else in here is extra. The next thing we'll cover is not necessary to get up and running, but it's one of the extra features, and that is the automations. You have automatic invoice scheduling. This will attach to your Stripe or Square. You can select how many days before you would like a reminder email to go out and the standard message. This will go out to all your clients if you have it turned on. You don't have to have it turned on. You can set up multiple to go out 1 day before, 7 days before, 14 days before. Order reminders to go out 1 day before, another one to go out 3 days before. You can delete these or you can add others. Follow-up reminders. If a client logs in and sees the quote but does not respond, you can click here and set up an email that goes out 3 days after they viewed their quote but didn't respond. Or if they did not view their quote within 3 days, you can resend it. Send them an email that says, hey, we sent your quote. We noticed you didn't open it. Invoice not viewed. Hey, we sent you an invoice. Payment is due. Noticed you didn't open it. Just want to make sure you got it. They viewed it, but they didn't pay it. 3 days later, you can send a follow-up. Hey, notice you got your invoice, but didn't make a payment. Just wanted to follow. Another feature is the post-event follow-up, and this is to go out after your event. So you can schedule this for a few days after, send a follow-up email, thanking them, asking them for a review, any photos, if a referral code for future orders, and it automatically goes out and follows up with your client. If they leave a review in the client portal, you can copy and paste it. When we go over more in depth in the My Shop section, we will walk through this. You can copy and paste it over here in your My Shop, and you have a place to add customer reviews. Put their name, their message, the rating they left you, and then you can add a photo if they sent you a photo, and you're pulling that directly out of Whisk Manager portal. It's all right there for you. Go ahead and set those up so that you can get your reviews from your clients. You can add those to Google, or you can put a link in there if you want them to leave you a review like on your Google portfolio. You can leave the link in that message message so they can just click on it and go right to your link and leave you a Google review. And then you can copy and paste it also from there right into here so it shows up on your My Shop page as well. Back to admin. Another nice feature of Whisk Manager that you do not have to have set up to run your business, this is just extra, is business documents. You can put any IRS letters, your Social Security or business IDs, your EIN, licensing, health permits, tax records, any of that you want to save and just be able to have on hand, you can upload here to business documents. So going back to general, everything else down here in business tools is kind of one of those extra things. It is not required to set these up to run your business. So we suggest setting up your settings, your app, and then going to My Shop next. But these are tools that will help run things along the way. You can come in here to analytics and view your analytics over time, profitability. You can choose seasonal items. You can come in here to expenses. This is a really helpful one, but not necessary to get started. Helpful for tax season. Click expenses here and you can set up your reoccurring expenses by clicking add expense. You can add a category that's already on here or choose other. You can put in your description, the amount, the date. You can upload receipts and you can make this a recurring expense. This is your rent or electric or something that's going to be the same pretty much every single month. Add it as a reoccurring expense and it'll automatically do that for you. You can have your overhead calculator on here, which is nice because a lot of us are home bakers and we don't always know what our expenses are. Here you can put in your overhead monthly cost and what you think it cost you per order. If I add in 120 for electric, 200 of my rent, my insurance, I can break it up over that month of how many orders I did. So if my total is $1,000 and I did 10 orders, it's going to break it up and your expenses were $100 per order. So you probably need to do more orders. And you can have it a percentage of the order or a fixed amount of the order. You can also add anything that's not on here. You can add your own items down here. This gives you a list of things that you may want to add and don't always think of. There are a lot of expenses that we have that we don't always think of as expenses, such as Whisk Manager. You can write off your software as a tax deductible expense. So that is set onto there. If you don't want this attaching to your orders, you don't have to turn this on. By default, it is off. If you want to auto apply to orders, you'll toggle this on down here. And the last thing in here is your mileage tracker. This is just to help you keep track of miles. So come in here when you're doing a delivery, you can put in your date, the distance, you can change to kilometers in here. Purpose, whether it's delivery, meeting clients, event, market, from location, start location, and any additional notes, and then put in your entry so that you can keep tabs on all that stuff directly in here. Your next tab is going to be profit analysis. So we'll click here, and this is a breakdown, your total revenue, your cost, and your total profit. If you have recipes attached to your orders with cost, inventory attached to your orders with cost, this is where it's going to show you your breakdown. You maybe made $1,000, but your ingredients and inventory cost you $200. So it's going to show you your total profit of $800 that month. Over here are forms and checklist, standard default templates you can use, invoices, order forms. You can make your own and save them here as well. Checklist is the same thing. You can print off or you can use them in the app. So when you're coming through, you can just check everything off. Helpful for newer bakers. And maybe this is your first time delivering wedding cakes. Think about, hey, what do I need to do? What do I need to take with me when I go on the delivery? You can make your own checklist by selecting new checklists and adding your own items. So that is it for the administrative. All you need to do to get your business up and running on Whisk Manager, if you want to use the contracts, is to edit your contracts and save those so that you can attach them into your orders. Everything else on here is kind of fun and helps run your business smoothly, but it's not necessary. The automation reminders is your probably second most important thing, but not necessary to get up and running. So after this, we will move on to setting up My Shop in the next tutorial.